guys, it's Sarah here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we're still in San Sequoia, and if you're new here, I've just been building on all the lots in San Sequoia just for fun, trying to build my own little kind of version of the world. And I've never done that before, so I'm super excited. And I hope you guys enjoyed this one because I actually put this lot off for so long and I have no idea why. I don't know why I didn't want to build it, but I just low-key did not want to build this lot. And I don't know why. I honestly can't tell you, but I've put it off for as long as I can. And so today we're building it and we're finishing up the residential lots in the world as well. This was the last residential lot that I had to do. And then the last lot is the rec center, which hopefully will be coming sometime later this week. If not, it'll be next week, but hopefully it'll get done this week. I've been all over the place lately when it comes to finishing videos, so fingers crossed it'll come later this week. I'm really excited about the rec center. I think I've talked about this before. I've tried to stop talking about it as much because I feel like the first few videos that I did with the Growing Together pack, I just kept talking about the rec center. And I'm very excited about it, but because I'm so excited, I'm kind of nervous about it as well because I just want it to turn out really nice. And I have this ideal in my head of what I want it to be, but I don't know exactly how to do that. And so, yeah, hopefully it'll turn out good. But anyway, talking about this house, today we are building a little house for a household in the game, a townie household that I believe their name is the Robles-Ruano household. Now, I'm probably saying both of those names wrong, but I have heard a few other people say Robles. I've also heard people say Robles, so I'm really not sure which one it is. If you guys want to let me know, feel free. I'm terrible with pronunciation. But that is the little household that lives on this particular lot in San Sequoia, and that's who we're building the house for today. And the household does have 3 Sims in it, and so we have Jay Roble, who is a freelancer, I believe. And then we have Dolly Ruana. She is a trendsetter, and I feel like I built the house mainly for Dolly, but I'll talk about that in a minute. But they also have a child, and I believe that you would say her name like Tala, but I'm not 100% sure about that either. Like I said, terrible with pronunciation. But anyway, we do have this 3-person family. So Dolly is a trendsetter, and I have been building so many classic family homes that I thought, well, this is a great chance to kind of build something a little bit different, maybe a little bit more modern, and have a touch of a more luxurious feel to it, maybe. So I decided in my mind that maybe they have just moved into this home recently, maybe, and they kind of renovated it and remade it for Dolly's career because she's a trendsetter. Now, I'm not 100% sure exactly what that means in the game because I've never actually played through that career, but in my mind, it was making me think of content creators, and so I was thinking of really modern houses and white walls and white floors and all the things that you see with the kind of popular content creators' houses. I don't know if any of that just made sense, but hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. Basically, the house is kind of designed more for Dolly's career, I guess, because it gave me a chance to do something a little bit different than I've done for the past few videos. So we're going for a little bit more of a trendy vibe, a little bit more luxurious, and yeah, that's what we're going for. So we basically have the shell of the house done. Right now we're placing windows, and the windows, they kind of end up being a problem. I'll go on and tell you. So the inside of this house is a little bit iffy in my opinion. It's not my favorite interior that I've done. It just didn't turn out exactly like I wanted it to. There's parts of it that are really nice, and then there's parts of it that I'm just, not that into. But back to the windows. So as you guys can see, we have this white wallpaper. That's from base game, and it's one of my favorite wallpapers in the whole game. I think I say that every time I use it, but I really love it. It's kind of got that textured look, and it's just so nice. But we've got this kind of white stone looking wallpaper. I think it's supposed to be plaster or something. But I wanted to have a contrast of using these brown windows, and also the windows that I chose from the Growing Together pack here at the front of the house. They don't have a lot of really light colored swatches. They're all kind of dark in my opinion. And I knew I wanted to use those, so I kind of had to match everything else to them. So I used some other brown windows, and I think they're all from base game other than the Growing Together ones. And I think I used an island living door as well. But I did have to grab some brown ones, which is not the problem. But the problem is that they're brown on the exterior, but when you get into the interior, they're white. Which is fine, except for the fact that the brown ones from the Growing Together pack are not like that. And so it's a little bit disappointing to me. I don't think you notice it too bad in the interior. I don't think it's like, in your face. I don't think you noticed it right off the bat. Maybe you guys wouldn't have noticed if I didn't tell you, but I don't know. I feel like in the rooms where you have both sets of windows, it's obvious. You know what I mean? And I just don't love that very much. But I was kind of stuck because there was no color swatches for those windows that were brown on both sides. I really just don't understand that. Yeah, I've never noticed it before, so maybe that's the thing, is that you would prefer to have white trim on the inside of the house, but I did not prefer that for this particular house, so I don't really love how that turned out. But other than that, I feel like I really like the exterior. I used some more islandy kind of looking landscaping for this one, not the main landscaping that you can kind of see in those flower boxes, but the kind that's right up against the house. I used a couple of plants from the Island Living pack, and I used some palm trees and some palm plants and some cactuses and stuff just because I felt like it kind of matched the vibe of the house. Like I said, we're going for a little bit of luxury, and I felt like that went with it. It might not, but that's what I was going for. This house ended up with a ton of porches as well. So we have, the front porches, of course. I try to just put some activities on each one of them. So we have that little dining area that we just placed. And then the other side of the house has a bar area, kind of like a little hangout area. And then there's one with some painting easels. And I think I went back even after I got done recording. I realized I had missed one of the porches. And so I went back and added in just like a woodworking table and a flower arranging table, I believe. So they all just have a few activities to give them something to do there, because otherwise they were just going to be these kind of big empty spaces. And I'm also going to have a pool for the house. It's pretty small. I actually had said when I built the Michelson's house that they had the nicest house in San Sequoia, and it would probably stay that way. But I'm not sure. I feel like this house might be a tiny bit nicer, but the pool's smaller. Either way, they're both really nice houses. But yeah, the pool is pretty small. And I will go on and talk to you guys. I know we haven't started building it yet, but I will go on and mention that I added in some pool loungers to the pool. And they're the kind that you would normally set on the ground, and your Sims can get in it and they can sit, and I think they can even nap on them as well. But one thing that I've seen on Pinterest before at luxury pool type situations is when they have pool loungers that are sat in really shallow water, like a shallow part of the pool. And I think that looks so cool and so nice, and I love doing that. And I've done it before on some of my other builds, but they've never been functional. And so for this build, I wanted to do that, but I did want it to be functional because I've been trying so hard to make my builds functional in every way that I can, which I've always done that. That sounds like I've never thought about that before. I've always tried to make my builds functional, but lately I've just been trying to really be aware that everything is working, because sometimes I use objects for more like decorative purposes, and so I don't think about it very much. But I've been trying a little bit harder lately, so hopefully that makes sense. But anyway, I wanted the pool loungers to work. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. So I knew that there was a way that you could do this because a while ago I had seen a tutorial on how to do a swim up bar, which was absolutely just amazing. And I cannot remember the name of the creator right now, but I will try to find the tutorial and put it in the description box if you guys are interested. But it was actually for a bar. And so I knew there was a way to do this, and I tried to do it in all the ways that I could remember, but I couldn't get it to work at all. Every time I would try, it just wouldn't work. The Sims wouldn't get on the lounger. They could swim around and everything, but they wouldn't get on it. And so I actually went back and looked up a Kate Emerald tutorial as well, because she has a tutorial for this, and she has one specifically for the pool loungers. And so I will put that in the description box as well if you guys are interested. But I was able to follow her tutorial, and they are functional. So when you guys see me place those, they are totally functional and your Sims can get in them. But I will go on and tell you that while they are functional, they are a bit glitchy. So I'm going to try to remember to include a clip for you guys so you can actually see how they function with it. But basically, to get your Sims to use the pool lounger, you have 3 options. You can click sit, relax, or nap, I believe. Those are the 3. And so I kept clicking sit. I kept trying to get my Sims to sit in the lounger. Well, apparently that isn't functional. That won't work. And so you have to click on, I think I clicked on relax. I don't think I ever tried nap out, but you have to click on one of the other ones. And then they will hop up to it from the pool, and they'll be able to sit in it. And it works, but they can't sit on it for some reason. But then the glitchy part comes in when you want your sim to get up. And so you would think you would click somewhere else in the pool and you would click like for them to go swim over there. But they stand up. They won't get it back in the water. They won't jump back in the water until I think you have to click somewhere else on land. Or maybe you actually, no, that's wrong. I'm sorry. I figured out you can do that. You can like click on the ground and tell them to walk over there, and then they'll jump back in the pool and get out of the pool. Or you can click somewhere in the pool and you can click swim laps. I don't think it works when you click swim over here, but there's options in the pool. And if you click those, then they will jump back in the water from where they're walking on water. I'm going to put the clip in so you guys can see it. But it all does work. It's just a bit glitchy, so I'm just telling you that in case you want to just delete it. If you get this house from the gallery, I don't blame you. It's kind of annoying, but they do work technically. They're just a bit weird. But I also went on and placed a little object from Spa Day. I think it's called the Stony Goodness Slab. I placed that underneath them just to make it look like they weren't just floating in the water. So it looks like there's a little bit of a floor underneath them. But then they look so bright in the water that I ended up placing those same slabs on the floor of the pool as well, because it was just so bright and I couldn't get any of the flooring options to match that color. And so, yeah, I went on and added those everywhere. But once again, the pool is totally functional. None of that affects it at all. So it should work for you if you get this off the gallery. But it is a little bit of a small pool. I really like adding pools to fancy houses. I feel like they kind of need them, don't they? I don't know. But anyway, I really like the little area. I think the loungers make it look a little bit more upscale and luxurious, and so I really like the way that turned out. And I also put in a little wading pool, I think from the seasons pack, for the toddler in the house as well. And I also did that kind of sunk in seating area with the fire pit. I don't know if you guys saw that because I was talking over it, but I put that little area in. I think it turned out so cute. I just really like the way it looks, and it's completely functional as well. It's technically placed in the basement, which I feel like I did something similar to that with the San Sequoia townhomes, and I don't think I had to place it in the basement for that, so I don't know, I gotta figure that out. But it's technically in the basement. It's completely functional though, and the fire pit's functional. There is one of the little island living ottomans that I placed kind of in the middle that isn't attached to the fire pit, and so your Sims don't want to go over there, so technically that ottoman isn't functional. But that's kind of like one of those things I was talking about a little bit earlier, that to me, that's not supposed to be functional, it's just supposed to be decorative. And so I still do have some items like that. Another item that I've been using a lot like that, just as decoration, is the suitcases that came with the Growing Together pack. Like the little backpack and the little luggage suitcases. Technically, those work as a dresser. Like your Sims can change their outfit or whatever it is they do with the dresser. I always go into Create a Sim with the mirror, so I don't know. But basically, it's supposed to work as a wardrobe, I believe. But a lot of times I place those just as decorations, like by the door or something like that. So there's one of those in the house as well that isn't functional, and I just didn't want to move it to where it would be functional because for me it was just decorative anyway. But feel free, as always, to just get rid of any of those items that you don't like. If you prefer everything to be functional and you run into one of those decorative items that doesn't work, just delete it. That doesn't bother me at all. But we're into the interior now. So this actually ended up being a 3-bedroom house. So we have the main bedroom, which has a full bed in it. Then there is a very small nursery, and then we have Tala's bedroom, which has a child. Well, right now it actually has a toddler bed in it. So technically it's a toddler's room, but I kind of made it so that you could transition it to a child's bedroom because they age up so fast and everything. And so I kind of made it to where you have enough space to add in a single bed for a child if you wanted to. And there's a desk as well. So it's not really decorated like a toddler's room. It's kind of more decorated as a kid's room with a toddler bed in it. But it's total 3-bedroom and then 3 bathrooms. We have 3 bathrooms. We have a kitchen, of course, and a dining room is going to be in this same room. And then I gave them a massive living room, which you guys will see, I think, next. But for the living room, I went on and took the ceiling off, if that makes sense. And that area is actually where on the exterior of the house, I have the Growing Together windows that are really big and open, and they extend up into the roof as well. And so I went on and got rid of the ceiling, or the second floor. I guess technically that's a better way to explain it. But But I went on and got rid of that, so it's basically just a very tall room. And then I put these massive spa day light fixtures up on top of it that look so fancy. And yeah, that's the living room. The living room I really like. I loved the way the living room turned out. If you can even call it that, because it is so kind of fancy and large. And so I don't know if living room is a good thing to call it because it's just massive. But anyway, that's one of my favorite parts of the house. I didn't love the way the kitchen turned out, to be honest, because the cabinets are so dark, and I really wanted to use the cabinet that had the marble top to it, which is a base game cabinet, and so they just don't have a lot of color swatches for that one, and so I ended up going with these really dark cabinets, but I think I probably should have left it with the lighter color swatch. I don't know, you guys can let me know what you think, but I did really want to use the marble countertops, so that's what I went with. But I did include the dining room in this room because it's a massive room, so there was plenty of room for it. And one of the Sims that live here, Jay Robles, had the Master Chef aspiration, and cooking was one of their likes. And they're also a foodie, so I really wanted to make sure that the kitchen was very nice and was just overall a really good space to be in, and would look like a kitchen that someone who really enjoyed food would want to cook in. So I kind of gave the kitchen a lot of love, although it's not one of my favorite rooms. But now we're on to the living area, which, like I said, this is one of my favorite parts of the whole house because it's just so massive and it kind of just has this really luxurious look about it. But on one side of the house, kind of towards the front side of the house, we actually have what I would call the living area, where you have some couches and we have this TV, and it just looks like kind of a more cozy lived-in area. And I actually, for the TV, I grabbed that base game like Jumbotron TV. I don't know what it's called, but it's the really, really big one. I grabbed that one. I'm pretty sure I used the base game one because there's a big one that came from City Living as well, so I'm not 100% sure. But I had read a comment somewhere, and I cannot remember where I read it, and I can't remember who said it or anything like that, so I can't give credit. All I can tell you is this was not my ideal. But they were saying that if you grab one of the Jazz base game pictures, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called Ode to Jazz. I think it's something like that. But it's one of the musical pictures that we got with the base game. And if you take that and you size it up once and you put it behind that TV, it looks like the TV is framed. And I think there's 3 different color swatches you can choose from the frame. It's like silver, gold for sure, and I think maybe some kind of like a brass or a bronze. But anyway, I really love the way that turned out. I hope you guys like it. Like I said, not my ideal, and I cannot remember where I saw it, so I can't tell you who said it. It wasn't a video, it was in the comment section. But I absolutely love how that looks. It's just gorgeous, and it definitely has a luxurious look about it. So, like I said, that space just makes me so happy. And then I also included a fireplace, of course, and I grabbed one of the vampire pack pictures, which is of Vlad, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I chose one that wasn't just straight up his portrait, but I think that's what it's supposed to be. And anyway, it's one of the biggest paintings that I could find, and I feel like up above that fireplace, it really needed a big painting. And so that's what I chose. If you guys want to change it, feel free, because I know that's not for everyone. It's a bit weird, but I also included another bar because Dolly is into mixology. I believe that was one of her likes. So I included another bar area, which I think I have 3 total bars in this house, so quite a lot. But anyway, I also included a dance floor because one of the Sims liked dancing. I can't remember which one. But also I just had plenty of space and I didn't know what else to put there. So I kind of put a cozy party space over there with a dance floor and a stereo. And I'm not sure what else I put over there. I actually can't remember. But I did include a music room as well because over to the right side of the house, we have 2 little smaller rooms that are kind of similar to the living room in the way that I got rid of the second floor. So it's like a vaulted, I don't think that's the right way to say it, but I'm going to say vaulted ceiling because I don't know how else to explain it. But anyway, I included a music room over there, and then in the other side of the house, the back side, I included an office. Since Jay and Dolly both work from home, I felt like they needed a pretty cool office space. And so I actually just included one long dining table for them both to work at, and included some computers and then just different things like books. And I included a few things that I felt like maybe Dolly would use, while she's doing her trend-setting stuff. I don't really know what you do with the trend-setting career, so that might be a bit off. But anyway, this is the main bedroom. So Jay does like the color purple, And so I kind of decorated the main bedroom, the parents' bedroom. I kind of decorated that with some purple accents and everything. And then there's a nursery attached to that room, which I decorated kind of in a purple theme as well, like a little baby purple, which I thought was cute. And then there is a bathroom attached to that bedroom as well. And that's the only bathroom that you guys will see me decorate. There are 2 more up on the 2nd floor, but I just didn't feel like you guys would want to watch that because it does get really repetitive with the bathrooms. But that's pretty much it for the 1st floor. And then on the 2nd floor, we kind of have just this hallway area. I put another desk there because I feel like with Sims, you could never have too many desks and computers. And I kind of didn't know what else to put there. But it's kind of like a shared space, like a little hallway area so that you can get out onto that patio. And then there's a half bathroom there as well. And then connecting this part of the house with the other part of the house, there's a little bridge over the living area because I had to connect those 2 spaces somehow. There's only 1 set of stairs in the house. So I do have a playroom because I feel like this family would be all about their kids and, you know, just having as much fun stuff as they could. It doesn't really match the vibe of the rest of the house because it's a little bit more laid back, but we have the playroom. And then on the other side of the house, we actually have Tala's bedroom. There's a little bathroom attached to that bedroom. And it's kind of a long walk, to be honest. It's kind of a long way for Sims to have to go. But that's just how the layout of this house ended up. Like I said, this is not my favorite interior. I don't love it. And it definitely seems like your Sims have to do a lot of walking. But that's pretty much it for this house. I do hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you think down below in the comments because I always love hearing from you guys. And just thanks so much for hanging out with me today during this speed build. I hope you all are doing really well, and hopefully I will see you soon with another speed build.